How's it? Today's Friday, it's May 8th, and I did both hang power lifts with some banded sumos. Um, I felt really good today. Not sure if it's because we figured some things out about my squat earlier in the week, but it did feel good. I was warming up here with those, do you see those blood flow restriction bands around my hips? I'm trying to see what it would be like to train with some sort of compression cuffs around my hips, and I I'm cautiously optimistic and saying that I think it makes a big difference. Um, but again, it could be lots of different factors. So I went overboard as I normally do, and I ordered a pair of cuffs to hopefully use in my training very shortly. And after those warm up sets, with no pain by the way, I moved into doing some of the hang powers. So I do 8 total sets on each, with 5 top sets of both, and they're all doubles. I was warming up with these power snatches, and I didn't feel too snappy or too powerful. They weren't hard. They're almost never hard. It's just something that I wasn't expecting to challenge me ended up challenging me. I thought a 155 for power snatch doubles was going to be easy, and that the cleans was going to be hard. They were both hard, but the snatches, I feel like a couple things were out of place. You see there, kind of wiggly elbows. I think that as far as technique is going, these look okay. One thing that I might want to think about doing a little better in the future is lifting through my wrists so that my wrist is cocked as I move up. It gives me a way better position for extension, and gives me extra space to turn over. It's really important for the start and the hang for me to actually do that. Otherwise, I will be behind the bar and I will end up probably hitting my pubic bone, which is not a fun experience. Similar to last week, I'm starting the pull from the floor because I want to keep that range of motion familiar. It's been kind of rough not moving through that range of motion for the last 6 weeks or so. And I think it's helping me. I know it's not hurting, so that's a good sign for me. Here's my last set. As always, I've been sending my last set to Steve. Generally because it's the most indicative of how my training is going, because it's when I'm the most tired. And if my lifting is looking good when I'm the most tired, then that means that I have capacity to be better in the future. So I think it's important for that. So as I originally thought, these hang power cleans were challenging. When I was warming up, they didn't feel too heavy, and then when I got to 205, it's just this one here. I was like, oh my lord. A rush extension on that first one. Second one is a lot cleaner. Something that I don't really like that I'm doing lately is I'm spreading my feet to a point where it's a width that I would never squat at. Like never ever squat at. And so I try to fix that in some of those reps, kind of like that one. Another thing that I'm not too proud of with the clean technique is I get not enough forward dip or forward motion at the start for a lot of the reps. And that's making it hard for me to get full extension. So let's see what this one looks like. That one was okay. That was okay. So I think it's a little bit more evident on the cleans. If I'm lifting through my wrists, my start position is way better. Short extension there, could have been held on to extension a little bit longer. Similar issue, second rep, so I'm a lot more tired. Didn't look as good. My last set is right here. Pretty good. Feels like I didn't get power on that one, but the bar moved somehow. Yeah, here's what it is. And then I transitioned over to the banded sumo deadlifts. The biggest thing for this week was I actually lowered the height. So last week it was about 2 inches, and this week it's about 1 inch. The plywood that I was using on top of these little 2x4s was 3/4 inch. So it's not quite the correct height of like a 1 inch. Today's thing was one set of 10 at 275, and then 3 sets of 8 back downs at 245 or so. This is going to be the last 10, I believe is what he said. So a lot of things have been changing. The height that I'm pulling at is a little bit lower, and the weight went up. So those are two different factors that would make this lift harder. But it turned out okay. I think I executed actually pretty well. There are a lot of reps that I would have liked to redo, but overall, these didn't look impossibly difficult. You know, I kept my lower back neutral at worst and extended at best, and I think that's all I can ask for at this point. Moving forward, we're gonna go into last reps, I believe, and I'm gonna actually put my belt on. So we'll see what happens there. Eventually, he wants me to take the band off. I think at this time, with that band, it's adding 20 pounds or so at the top, which isn't the most, but 20 pounds is significant in me deadlifting 275. So here are the down sets, 3 sets of 8, and the whole goal with these were to pull faster, move quicker through the motion. I didn't do a very good job with that on any of the sets, but I did them all, and I think I'm improving, and you know that's not something that I could have said a couple weeks ago with how bad my hip has been feeling. So it's kind of exciting. I was trying my best not to jerk from the floor like this, but I couldn't figure out a way not to if I'm trying to pull with more speed. Here's my final set. It was a little bit better, a little bit worse. Same, a little bit better. Same. Just looking at the jerkiness off the floor. Worse. Better. That's my last rep. And then I moved into doing weighted pull-ups. This is because I missed doing weighted pull-ups on Monday. So the program today was just heavy triples, and whatever my top set is, do 85% of that for 3 sets of 5 as that down set. So I ended up hitting 50. So this is my top set here, 50 pounds. I weigh about 165, so that's 215 or so. I think 85% of 215 is 187 or so. So that would mean that I need to add 7 17 pounds or something like that. Might be 192. I don't remember. Whatever it was, I rounded it up to 20, so I did for all my sets. Finished that off with some band assisted pull-ups with just 2 sets of 10 with this orange band. These are a lot harder than they look, but I'm glad I was able to do them today because, again, I did miss on Monday. And finishing that whole workout out, I did some belt squats. These were intended to be light to just get me through the range of motion with my hip. So I did 3 sets of 20 and no pain in my hip, so I am pretty thankful for that. And yeah, that'll be it for today. I'm looking to get some new video setups for the next couple training sessions, and we'll see how that goes.